Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Covering both sides of the big issues with the analysis you trust on News Radio 1040 WHO.
When we want to talk about copyright and patents and things like that, we go to the patent professor, ladies and gentlemen. He is John Rizvi, and he is on the Davidson Family Dentistry Newsmaker line right now. How you doing, John?
Yeah, good. Always a pleasure to be here.
Always great to have you. So we're going to talk about AI again because AI is cropping up all over the place, and it's not surprising because you cannot uninvent the wheel, right? That's what I always say. What is AI up to now? Is it music? Is it acting? Is it raising people from the dead like Marilyn Monroe? What should we be concerning ourselves with right now, John?
Well, I was going to say all of the above till you got to the raising people from the dead part. It's not there yet, but certainly music and acting, impersonating pretty much anybody. I mean, there's not too long ago, Tom Hanks came forward and said that there's a fake dental plan endorsement floating out there that looks like him, sounds like him, and it was produced by AI. We've had Drake and The Weeknd, a new supposed song by them, which turned out to be fake. It was done again by AI. So this is a real problem, and over 200 plus musicians, including Bob Marley, the estate of Frank Sinatra, Stevie Wonder, Katy Perry, Nicki Minaj, like you name them, they've all come forward, drafted a letter to tech companies begging them to respect the intellectual property of artists and be more prudent in what their AI software is doing and allowing people to do.
Right. So, as I keep pointing out to people, right, that's fine. Let's say we write laws, they're effective, we shut down this stuff within the United States. What happens if it's North Korea?
Yeah, so it's problematic, certainly. But even beyond that, even if you have laws and you can shut down the big players in the United States, you can shut down service providers, ISPs. The larger companies, YouTube, for example, you can enforce against them. But what happens when you have millions and millions of users that save this content? You know, the saying that once something's put online, it's there. There's no way to take it down. So if individual users save that content and they continuously share it, there's no way to stop it. So it's not just a matter of how do you stop international copyright infringement, but just even here in the United States, it's you can have a law, but if you don't have enforcement, it becomes really problematic.
Okay, so we're looking for enforcement. What does that even look like, John?
So I think ultimately, and that's probably the purpose of these musicians in their letter. It's trying to get. Perhaps ultimately it's going to be technology enforcement, and it's going to be a matter of not just the laws and relying on people following the laws, but creating technical solutions so that it's easy to detect this content and somehow automatically have it removed. So that's really the only solution. I think that's why this letter is spearheaded and directed not just to legislators, because they figure, okay, you can write to your congressman, your senator, they can pass laws, but it's directed specifically to the tech companies to say, hey, we need a technology solution for this because the legal solution by itself may not be enough.
Right. So, I mean, let's take the biggest name in music. Let's take Taylor Swift. So you're Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift comes knocking on your door, John, and she says, protect my image, protect my voice from AI, from someone that produced an AI song by Taylor Swift, which is not Taylor Swift at all. What can we do right now, John?
So, I mean, you initially have the...
I know Taylor's voice has got a lot deeper suddenly, I know, but just play with me.
Yeah, so you've got the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. You can put takedown notices, like say it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. But again, the issue is like those are time consuming, they're expensive, and you can do that when there's a few infringers. But what do you do then when those millions and millions of YouTube users, individuals, happen to download copies, and then you have kind of illegal file sharing websites? They still exist. I know Napster is gone, but there's lots of them out there. There's in fact a bunch of new apps that allow you to type in whatever you want and have it said in the voice of a celebrity, and you get to pick, is it Barack Obama, or it's a musician, or it's Nicki Minaj, whatever you want said. It literally sounds, and I've tried it, it sounds like them, and these apps are out there.
Right, and it can be very cheap as well, by the way. It could be like $5, because a friend of mine has done it, and I'm trying to remember who he got. I think he did Donald Trump saying he was the best radio host in the country. $5.
There's a lot of them that offer free trials. So even better than $5 is the free trial. Now the downside of the free versions is it's going to have an ad for the app. So whoever you share it with, it's not just audio. In this case, it's video as well. It literally is like Obama or Trump or whoever you want saying whatever they want. But it's got the free version's got a logo from the company on there, so that kind of gives away that it's not real. But their paid versions don't have that, so that's a real issue, and it's not just an issue from a financial standpoint in terms of loss of revenue, but it's becoming an issue overall. It's becoming an issue in proof and evidence in cases when you have things said. It's certainly, as we get closer to an election, it's going to become an issue, and there may be not enough time to really catch that something is a fake before.
Yeah, no, I completely. I want to come to the politics in a minute, because I just want to conclude the artists first of all. They're obviously right to be concerned. If we take our Taylor Swift example, if she came knocking on your door, she's a billionaireess now. So she comes knocking on your door, and she's got the big golden checkbook. I understand it's golden. The big checkbook with her, and says, "John, make it stop." Could you?
Individually you can, but make it all stop. Honestly, right now it's just the mechanism does not exist.
Right, that's what I thought. So if fake Taylor Swift has a new single out on YouTube, what do we think? An hour? It'll be on hundreds of thousands of computers. 2 hours, millions all around the world. That's what they're scared of, and they're right to be scared of it.
There is they're absolutely right. I don't remember the quote. It's from the movie Jurassic Park, when I think the doctor said, just because your scientists can do something doesn't mean they should do something, and that's part of the worry.
We may have that, by the way. JD is scrambling to find it, because we did pull that down for a while. We used to play it quite a lot, so he may have that. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, I believe, is the quote.
Exactly.
But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that's probably the it's kind of too late now, because the AI for voice impersonation is already out there. It's a risk in terms of for safety. Like if somebody had I have YouTube videos. I'm out there on social media as the patent professor. Somebody could take my voice, record, perhaps call one of my kids, whatever, say, hey, don't go to the bus stop today, do whatever, and leave a message on their phone. It's scary. It's a scary world. It's like, how do you know if someone's who they say they are, if they sound like them, they're impersonating them. It's a possibility.
And I guess we live in a time where, with your family members, you should have a secret word. Frankly, that would be a really good piece of advice. There's a word that you use so that you know it's you. John, can you hang with us through a quick timeout? Because I want to get into the politics of it. Can you? That'll be great. It is 5:46. We will take that time out, and we'll conclude our conversation on the other side of it with the patent professor himself, John Rizvi. What is this going to mean for politics in this election year? We're about to find out. This is the Simon Conway Show. Yes, indeed. Listen to the radio, ladies and gentlemen. 5:52. We're in the middle of a conversation with John Rizvi. He is the patent professor, and when it comes to things copyright and patent, that is who we turn to. And John, we dealt with music, and we didn't quite deal with the reanimated Marilyn Monroe. Maybe we'll save that for another day. But politics, this is a huge one. Because if you want to mess with the American people in the run-up to the election, you can make either of these candidates say anything you want, and it can even look like them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look like them, sound like them, and the real issue becomes one of timing, right? Because if somebody wants to sabotage a campaign, has this do it in a manner that doesn't allow the political party to recover or the candidate to recover, they simply time it for a couple days right before an election, and then there's simply not enough time for people to really figure out what's happened. Because the first that expression that the truth makes it a lie makes it all the way around the world before the truth has its shoes on, and a lot of people they're going to remember the initial video being even if it's a fake AI or the fake audio, whether it's video or audio, and they're never going to see the clarification afterwards. How many times have you really paid attention when you see in a news article or a correction? They'll print a correction the next day. Who goes and reads those? All the readers have seen the original article. They're not going to go back and pay attention to the corrections later on.
No, you're absolutely right. Here's the thing. I think there might be one way that you can tell. Okay, so if you see something outrageous, I'm not going to suggest what it is, but something outrageous about one of the two presidential candidates in the days before the actual election takes place, then first of all, that's probably not true because normally that happens in October. That's number one. Number two is you're only going to find it online. Media companies will not run that. You want to know why? Because they want to know they're getting paid. That's why. It's really that simple. So you're not going to hear it on this radio station. You're not going to see it on any TV station. You will only find it online. That's, I believe, the only way you might be able to tell.
Well, I don't know if that's – what about several years ago, like Donald Trump's tape-recorded vulgar comments about women. Like that came out. In that case, it ended up being true because it was prior to AI.
Right.
That it was
absolutely
like now. How would the public know if somebody leaks something like that? It appears to be in his voice, and by the time people figure out if it's genuine or not, the election's done.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying the people who want to place that ad in a media company. The media company's going to want to know they're getting paid. It's literally simplistic capitalism. Okay, you can place your commercial on our radio station, and this is the cost. Who's paying the bill? Right? And so that's how you ultimately get to tell, I think. You'll only find it online. You will not find it in what we would call mainstream media. You won't find it on TV. You won't find it on radio, I believe. I think that's the only way you're going to be able to tell. But it's going to be very, very difficult. There's no question it is. And unless one of the campaigns is really a dirty campaign that would do that, and therefore that they would pay the media company, I just don't think you're going to see it on mainstream media. But we live in dangerous times because Russians are more than capable of messing with us.
Yeah, 100%. And even, it brings into question a lot of the safeguards that are supposedly in place now. Like you have campaign ads, you'll see them end with the candidate themselves say, "I'm so-and-so, and I approve this message." Well, what does that really mean? How do you know they're who they say they are?
Absolutely.
Talk about,
John, I'm out of time, John. You might be able to hear that music, so I've got to go. But I thank you as always. John Rizvi is the patent professor, ladies and gentlemen. You got anything you want to patent? Look up that guy. John, appreciate you. Take care. Have a great rest of the day.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.